Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. and 27 degrees. Thanks for tuning in to Daybreak on WGRZ Plus. And our top story this morning, a Buffalo police officer on the wrong side of the law. 53-year-old Lance Woods is accused of shooting and killing his wife. He's been arraigned on second-degree murder charges in connection with the death of 35-year-old Alexis Skachelis. It all unfolded Saturday evening on Buffalo Street in the town of Sanborn. Lewiston police say they were responding to a request for a welfare check when they found Skachelis' body inside the home. Officials say she had been shot to death. Chief Michael Salata says this was not the first time that officers were called to that home. And 2 on your side's Nate Mills has more details this morning.
The New York Attorney General's office announced its Office of Special Investigations will look into Lance Woods' alleged murder of Alexis Skachelis. Officials say the OSI assesses every incident reported to it where a police officer or peace officer may have caused the death of a person. If OSI's assessment indicates an officer caused the death, there will be a full investigation.
Our next steps would be canvassing the neighborhood, working with the Attorney General's office to develop more evidence and leads and continue to build a case.
Mayor Sean Ryan also reacted to the arrest early Sunday afternoon when it was confirmed the suspect was a Buffalo Police Department officer and school resource officer.
Yeah, it's a tragedy last night. My heart goes out to the family, to the children who were on site during that incident.
The chief says for an area with minimal crime activity, Lewiston Police is calling on the town to help aid in the investigation.
Residents in the area, if there's anything that they noticed in the last 48 hours, in that Sanborn area that they feel may be relevant to the case, I would certainly encourage them to call our office.
And that was Nate Mills reporting. Investigators also say Woods lived at the home with the victim and their 2 young children. Police say the children are safe and in the care of relatives. Woods is being held at the Niagara County Jail. And Buffalo Police Interim Commissioner Craig Macy issued a statement following Woods' arrest, saying in part, quote, Buffalo police detectives worked in coordination with Lewiston Police, sharing resources to support the apprehension of Woods, including using investigative resources to attempt to locate the vehicle that Woods was believed to be driving, end quote. Also developing this morning, 3 people are recovering in a hospital after a fire in Buffalo. A city spokesperson says the fire happened just after 7 yesterday morning on Weaver Street. Investigators believe the fire started on the first floor. 3 people were taken to ECMC. We do not know their conditions this morning, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Also this morning, mall management is responding to a stabbing at the Walden Galleria Friday night. It happened inside the mall, and mall officials say that everyone involved did know each other and that it was an isolated incident. Cheektowaga police say it stemmed from a fight between several women. 22-year-old Lakia Richardson and 21-year-old Jocelyn Paul allegedly attacked 3 other women with knives. The 2 women were arrested, remain in custody. They'll be arraigned on assault and weapons charges. All 3 victims are expected to be okay, and the mall stayed open after the stabbing. Pyramid Management said in a statement that it's emphasizing ongoing safety efforts with trained on-site security personnel, coordination with local law enforcement, and an extensive camera monitoring system. We are fully cooperating with the Cheektowaga Police Department as their investigation continues. Now, Cheektowaga Police did address the mall security in a brief statement, saying, quote, they continue to have a close partnership with mall staff and endeavor to maintain safety for all mall goers. Well, in other news this morning, if you drive a car, listen up. The state DMV's new points system starts today, and the penalties are a lot more strict. Drug and alcohol-related offenses will see the biggest change. 11 points on your license now for those. Passing stop school buses and speeding in construction zones will carry a penalty of 8 points. Driving while using a cell phone will now add 5 points to your license. And under the new rules, points tacked onto a license are now in place for 2 years instead of 18 months. Speaking of the DMV, every DMV branch across the state will be dark for the 2 more days. The Department of Motor Vehicles is implementing a new system-wide upgrade that officials say is long overdue. All services are expected to resume on Wednesday, but until then, all DMV offices remain closed and DMV online transactions and phone services are unavailable. DMV Commissioner Mark Schroeder says This is only phase one of the upgrades, rather. Phase 2 will be happening 2 years from now.
There's another new rule. Did you hear about this one?
What's that, Patrick?
7 points on your record if you're caught listening to Coldplay in your car.
Is that right? Of
Yes.
all bands, Coldplay, huh?
Coldplay.
Or Nickelback.
Nickelback. Oh, you lose your license for life.
Yes.
Just kidding.
No offense to Coldplay and Nickelback fans out there.
Sometimes there's certain bands that are fun to pick on.
And if you listen to Steely Dan, it reduces the points on your license.
No, they just give you a new car. They're like, you have such good taste. Let's just reward you with everything.
A 1982 Carmagia.
Yes. No, 1960. Well, I had a 69 Carmagia and a 74 Super Beetle.
Oh.
So cool.
I had an 85 Buick Regal. Thank you very much.
That's style. All right, moving on. Let's take a look. Rather gray today. Mild week ahead and rain on Wednesday and again on Friday. All right, we are watching dry weather today. There is a little bit of light rain coming through, it looks like, as we head towards the overnight tonight. Not much at all, but a more important system, this one here, is going to arrive on Wednesday. A pretty strong system approaching will bring rain, widespread rain. When I call it strong, it's the area of low pressure strong, but as it approaches, it kind of weakens. But anyway, lots of rain on Wednesday and then another system on Friday. The question with these are not whether or not it's going to rain. That's a given. But will there be enough cold air for any ice on the northern edge of the shield of rain? And there's a chance. Now, Future Look keeps things dry tonight, a couple of rain showers overnight, and then for your Tuesday, look for, again, mostly cloudy skies and temperatures close to 40. And then as we head to Wednesday, Future Look really wants to dive in the cold air. Other models that we look at don't show this at all. So we got to take this with a grain of salt. I'm showing it to you because there is the potential. If that cold air coming in from the northeast can have enough of a push south, we could get a little ice mixed in as well. But predominantly rain for Wednesday and most likely into Friday too. There is light rain overnight, and then for tomorrow, mid to, I'd say rainfall total, sorry. This is Wednesday, quarter to half of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. That could cause some runoff issues, okay? So that's something to watch as the week progresses. High temperatures today, right around 40, same for tomorrow. There's the rain on Wednesday, but notice we're only in the 30s for areas to the north where there could be some ice mixed in. 40 though, for Buffalo, it looks like Wednesday and then again on Friday. And for the south towns in the southern tier, notice how much warmer it is here. We're gonna be in the 40s, mid 40s, it looks like. Even today, all the way through Friday. Colder, though, by the weekend with a chance of some snow showers Saturday and Sunday.
And Patrick, question for you.
Yeah.
We're not warming up too quickly, but we are adding rain. So do we have to worry about ice jam flooding, or is it a slow enough warm up that it won't be too bad?
Excuse me.
Are you okay?
No, these are emotional questions for me,
Yes.
so I get choked up. No. I don't think there will be ice jam flooding this week. I'm sorry. But we're setting the stage for the potential for the following week if the mild temperatures hang out.
Okay. Go have some water and we'll talk about it in a little bit. Patrick, thank you. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. Then we will talk Olympics and a great story from Pete Gallivan coming up right after this. Welcome back. Team USA men's hockey closed out the preliminary round with a 5-1 win over Germany yesterday. Zach Werenski, Austin Matthews, and Brock Faber scored to give the United States a 3-goal lead after 2 periods. And then in the third, Tage Thompson added a one-timer for his second goal of the tournament. The victory earned the Americans a bye to the quarterfinals as the number 2 seed behind Canada because of goal differential. The U.S. will play the winner of Sweden and Latvia on Wednesday. Now, if Sweden wins that match, it would mean the Sabres teammates, Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson, would be going up against each other with a medal at stake. That would be fun to watch. And then on the women's side of things, we're now at the semifinals, and Gettsville native Haley Skimura scored twice, as you might remember, in Team USA's first game. She and the U.S. are set to face Sweden this morning at 10:40 our time. And the United States and Canada are each one win away from a potential showdown in the gold medal game. I think a lot of people expecting the U.S. and Canada to be facing each other, and that's what it's looking like once again, with the women just kind of dominating every game that they play.
All I know is I want a guy by the name of Brock Faber on my team. Because
like
you don't lose with a Brock Faber.
He also could be on a romance novel.
Yes,
Faber. Brock.
How do you just not fall madly in love to a guy that goes, hi, I'm Lance, or I'm Brock?
I'm Brock. Okay, Brock. All right. Also this morning, a really great story from Pete Gallivan. It's an international story with local ties. The impact of the war in Ukraine will be felt for generations. According to UNICEF, almost 2 million children have had to leave their home country to escape the conflict, many of them separated from a parent, usually their father. And that's exactly the case with a 15-year-old. The war has separated his family, and now he's here in Buffalo, hoping to turn adversity into opportunity. Pete Gallivan has that story.
It's amazing how quickly a life can change.
I saw that I'm going to leave my whole life in Kharkiv, in my hometown.
Vanya was born in Kharkiv, about 20 miles from the Russian border. When Russia invaded in 2022, Vanya's life changed drastically.
When the war started, my parents made a decision to protect me.
He initially moved to Germany with his mother, but in the summer of 2024, his life took another turn. Vanya visited a Ukrainian cultural exchange camp in Erie, Pennsylvania. He wound up staying in Erie for the year, and that led to another door of opportunity at Nichols School. Rather than on the front lines, he is now in Buffalo, a freshman at Nichols playing on one of the school's hockey teams.
It is difficult, but we don't have any other options, and we are not the only one family.
In fact, he's not even the only one at Nichols. There's another Ukrainian player, along with 2 from Romania.
I think it really benefits us all. Like, it opens our eyes to things that we don't get to see, and we get to meet new kids and have kids that come from a completely different background can share their story with us and makes us better people as well.
And while it's a great opportunity for him academically and athletically, it is still very difficult on his family. His family's split in 3 different directions. His mother, Ola, is in Germany, and his father, Roma, is still in Ukraine. I spoke with both of them via Zoom through an interpreter.
Obviously, it's very difficult, but at the same time, I'm happy that they're not here because there's no... I would worry more for them to be here than they somewhere else.
As a mother, it must also be comforting to know that even though he's far away in a different country, he is also far away from the unrest in Ukraine.
Absolutely. It's obviously incredibly happy that he's not there during the war. Even when she goes to Ukraine alone, right, to see her husband, it's not the same when Vanya comes during the summer to spend time with them, because now she's worried 3 times more.
One thing that does provide comfort for them is that he is living with a family here in Buffalo. In fact, my brother and sister-in-law.
I have all the admiration in the world for his parents. I cannot imagine sending my kid off to the virtual unknown, but it's...
Trying to maintain normalcy in the most screwed up situation possible.
Yeah.
But in October, Vanya's parents found themselves worrying from a half a world away. Playing a game in Potsdam, he collided with another player, breaking his femur.
So I was more worried how my parents would react on that, like what's happened to me.
He needed emergency surgery, and then he got an unplanned visitor with Ola coming from Germany to help take care of him. As it turned out, he really didn't have to tell her what happened.
She actually was watching the game, so live stream.
And while the reason for the visit was unfortunate, it did put her mind even more at ease.
She's saying me and Steve, they're a perfect family. Mm-hmm. So we lived the same as them before the war.
In the meantime, even while putting on a strong front, Vanya had deeper worries.
I just wanted to walk, you know. I didn't know if I'm gonna at least walk.
And amazingly, less than 4 months later, after weeks of therapy and rehab, he's not only walking, he's back on the ice playing hockey.
I wouldn't change anything except maybe the broken leg.
Yeah.
You know, he has really been such a great addition to the household. I mean, I don't know how he's going to feel about this, but he's family now, like it or not.
He knows it's not ideal, and he'd love to be back at home, living a normal life with mom and dad. But for now, as the airstrikes continue in Ukraine, Vanya is at home on the ice and found sanctuary here in the Queen City.
What an incredible story.
Sure is.
And yeah, Pete was saying that his brother and his sister-in-law Mia only expected to have him for a couple weeks as they were trying to get the host family ready, but they fell in love with this kid. He loved being with them, and he thinks that he'll stay throughout the remainder of this year at Nichols, then go home for the summer, and then probably come back and finish up his hockey career and his education back at Nichols. So cool. Yeah, it's great to see that this kid is getting a new chance at life, and he's safe and he's happy. So wonderful to see. So Pete, thanks for that story. By the way, I got a story tomorrow. We love bringing you these exclusive stories. Tomorrow on Daybreak. Actually, it airs at 6 p.m. tonight first, but then we'll re-air it tomorrow.
Wait, why do they get the exclusive?
I know.
You put in the work.
Here's what's happening. Remember the quints, the quintuplets that were born 2 months ago? We met mom and dad a month ago. Well, I had the privilege of sitting down with them this weekend and finding out how they're doing, how are the babies doing, and so Patrick, we're still on TV.
Yep.
And so I will share an update with you at 6 p.m. today. We'll talk a lot more about it tomorrow, and then a local car dealership is giving a huge gift to this family. They know about it, that's why I'm saying it, but just the City of Good Neighbors coming through as expected to help this family who now needs to carry around a family of 9 in a vehicle because they had 2 kids originally. So all of that coming up on Channel 2 News at 6 today and Daybreak tomorrow. All right, we'll have a little bit more coming up after the break, and you can look at your phone again.
Well, the Bills are still winning.
Oh, the Bills are... Welcome back. You were watching some sort of Bills game?
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm bringing this up again because we're talking about football.
Because I still feel like maybe if you watch it again, there'll be a different outcome. They beat the Broncos this time.
It was a catch. Or not. It was not a catch. Whatever. Anyway, the combine is coming up, and maybe the Bills will be looking at some wide receivers, perhaps. 319 prospects, is that right, who will be going to the combine in Indianapolis this year, and the UB Bulls will be represented among them for the first time in quite some time. And Channel 2 sports reporter Jonathan Acosta has that story.
Red Murdoch has never been to Indianapolis. That is set to change in a couple of weeks at the NFL Scouting Combine.
Even in the back of my head, it's always been, how can I get to the NFL from, is what I'm doing going to get me to the NFL?
The former UB All-American linebacker and NCAA career leader in forced fumbles, one of 319 players invited to this year's Combine in late February.
He's had such a wonderful career. He stuck here and stayed with us. He made the most of this opportunity. And so nice to see him getting all the postseason recognition. But this is really the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae to get invited to the Combine.
Finishing second in the nation in tackles each of the last 2 years, the linebacker figured he would get an invite to the Combine. However, with teammates at the same position in Joe Andreessen and Sean Dolak, currently in the NFL, but not getting invited each of the past 2 years, Murdoch knew it wasn't a given.
I feel like they also should pave a way for me. It was more like confirming what I already believe, but also Buffalo has a history of being overlooked regardless of what we put out on tape and all that. So it was definitely a sigh of relief.
Murdoch is the first Bull to get a Combine invite since 2021. He's not worried about impressing teams, saying he's going to be himself and let the rest take care of itself. But he is proud to represent the university with which he spent the last 4 years.
Anybody that knows me knows Buffalo is very special to me. And Buffalo gave me a chance when not so many other people wanted to.
And now at the Combine, Murdoch hoping it's the next step in finding the next team to give him a chance, this time at the NFL Draft in the spring.
It's really a lifetime goal. And I've been dreaming about this for a long time, as long as I can remember.
On your side in Amherst, Jonathan Acosta, Channel 2 Sports.
Red Murdoch also sounds like it go along with Brock Faber. Love these names.
These are awesome names.
Yeah, wish him the best. I mean, what
Yeah,
a dream
that's
come
awesome.
true to go to the combine, get all these eyes on you, and help really.
Because everybody's there, all the coaches, all the GM, not all of them, but a lot of them.
But
So
you think of, every little Pop Warner football player in the country, and every kid who plays for his high school team, whose dream is to make it into the NFL one day, and this is a legit step to get there, and just to have that opportunity to have those eyes on you is so exciting.
we should pull this up at some point if we can find it, the video of Josh Allen at the combine. When he did all of his 40s and the way he ran was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But he then started throwing bombs. 40-yard pass, 50-yard pass, 60, 70-yard passes that were on the dime. And people were like, what? This is a bazooka.
Yeah.
It's crazy how deep his passes
But
were.
they were so worried about his accuracy during
but
games,
they're like, at that point,
then
they're
look
just
at him
like-
in the combine.
Right, he was just throwing bombs. So maybe we can find that during the
for sure.
couple weeks.
All right, well, winter break is officially here, and that means families might be looking for some fun ways to keep the kids busy. You can go out and toss a football around for a couple days this week because the weather will be nice.
Not at my house. We still have 14 inches of snow in the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe in the street if it's safe.
Yeah, but then the streets lined by these chasms of snow.
Yeah, and then the backyards have lots of landmines with the dogs.
All over. Right.
So perhaps you shouldn't go and throw around a football, but there are lots of fun things you can do with the family. Free and discounted activities all week long, like at Canal Side. This is a huge money saver for families because it's not cheap to go to Canal Side, to be perfectly honest. But this week, there is free admission, free skate rentals, and also free curling from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. all week long. And also during the entire week, all of the ice at Canal Side guests can go and warm up after skating at the Visit Buffalo Visitor Center or the Explore More Children's Museum. They'll have special discounts at both locations. All you have to do is show your admission receipts to the ice. And at Buffalo River Works, if roller skating is more your thing, families can enjoy free roller skating and free ice skating there, along with discounts on skate rentals. And the River Works ropes course, which is really fun too. And then on Thursday, Independent Health will be on site with free giveaways, kid-friendly activities, character appearances, temporary tattoos, and much more. Roller skating, that's fun, Patrick. As opposed to inline skating.
I haven't done it. Oh yeah, I've done inline skating, but the 4-wheel skates. I mean, gosh, not since.
Maria Gennaro was
I bet she
at
was.
roller skating.
Oh, I bet.
Yes. Also, Walden Galleria, you can head there with the kids for their Winter Kids Club 2026. It's a week of free events and activities for kids and their families. The Kids Club features a fun dose of morning events each day designed to keep the kids entertained and engaged during winter break. Might want to do that on the rainy days this week, Wednesday and Friday. So if you're looking for indoor stuff, that would be a good thing to do. And this morning at 11, Nickel City Reptiles and Exotics will host a zoo show and tell. I love Nickel City because kids get to play with all sorts of crazy animals. So that's a lot of fun. So that's happening at the Galleria all week long. Kilauea. Oh, do we have a live look? Oh, okay. This is live in Hawaii right now. And what is going on? You talk about this one, Patrick.
Yeah, well, as I've always said, who loves this more than anybody? Realtors.
Why is that?
Because you're creating more land, more beachfront property that eventually could be. I mean, we are building beachfront property right now. That is landmass building right now. Okay, Hawaii.
It'll only take 1,000 years.
A long time. But that is the process of the island growing and expanding, and so in thousands of years there will be more coastal real estate to sell and turn into condos. But it's a natural process. It's almost a continuous flow. But right now we're kind of in an uptick in the eruption going on in Kilauea, the southern tip of the Big Island of Hawaii. Again, this is far from any populated areas. This does not run really a risk.
And it erupts frequently too.
Yeah,
right?
and it's as natural as thunder and lightning. It's as natural as a rainbow.
What causes an eruption?
It's a hot spot. It's basically a link between the magma below this crust and the surface. And so there's a constant flow. That flow is what created Kauai, Lanai, Honolulu, the Oahu, Maui, Molokai, and now the Big Island. And in thousands and thousands of years, another island is going to come up.
That is
for more resorts.
Very impressive.
And more White Lotuses locations.
I really want to get out to Hawaii and
It's
witness
beautiful.
something
It
like
is
that.
so,
and
you can't really get that close.
The road to Hana and all that amazing
it's so beautiful.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's like a bucket list item. Okay.
It's beautiful. No, it's really something.
Yeah.
If you ever go to the Big Island too, drive up to the tops of the volcanoes. The old, the Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea. Just
Make you want to go surfing again?
Oh, yeah, lava, totally. Makes me want to surf.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great day.